Hope is a very powerful emotion. It keeps you going through thick and thin. When hardship seems overwhelming, hope may be the only thing you have to keep you going. Andy Tippett-Moore lent me a book through lockdown. Amazing Tales for Making Men Out of Boys. It tells stories of daring do, and one of those stories that stood out was the story of the Penlee lifeboat and the rescue of the Union Star. Now, some of you will probably remember that story. I, to my shame, had forgotten it. It's December 19th, 1981, and there's a terrible storm at sea. The brand new 1,400-ton Union Star is making its maiden voyage from the Netherlands to Ireland. The engines failed just south of Mousehole in Cornwall, and the ship is adrift and can in no way control where it's going. The coastline and the jagged rocks are a constant threat. On board are 9 people, the crew, and the captain's pregnant wife and 2 daughters. Now, the conditions are horrendous. It's one of the worst storms in living memory. Thankfully, help is at hand. A nearby ship is passing by and it offers help and provides a line. But this is refused because by so doing, the brand new Union Star becomes the salvage of the towing vessel. So their offer is declined. The captain now puts his hope in the rescue services. The Union Star puts out a further distress call. This is answered by the SE Rescue, who dispatch a helicopter despite the weather conditions. At the same time, the crew of the Penlee lifeboat are dispatched from the safety of their harbour into the ever deteriorating storm conditions. The helicopter arrives, but the waves are so large and the wind so strong that every attempt to land the line onto the ship fail. Their only hope now rests on the lifeboat. This arrives shortly after the failed air rescue. The boat strives with every pitch of the waves, and it strives to draw alongside the Union Star. First the children, then the pregnant wife, and then with every attempt another soul is saved, until only the captain and one of his crew remain. The hope seems secure. But with every pitch of the ocean and gust of wind, both the Union Star and the lifeboat have been drawn ever nearer to the treacherous coastline. The radio falls silent, and just the sound of static can be heard. Their hope has failed. Every life was lost. The astonishing bravery of those lifeboat men is worth remembering, and is every 19th of December. And now in Mousehole, the sons of the men lost in that tragic incident go out to save those who are in peril of the deep, despite their own personal loss. But the hope that was placed in those rescuers didn't fail for lack of bravery. It failed because of the appalling weather conditions and because they did not want to leave anyone behind. Our spiritual hope cannot be so fragile. It cannot be subject to so many different variables. It has to be rooted in something substantial and solid. It must be anchored in something safe. As the old hymn goes, will your anchor hold in the storms of life? What are you anchoring your life on today?